Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again live from the studio, Hudson County View Live and Uncut. I'm your host, where what you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet, John R. Highness, and another robust week in Hudson County news as always. So I think our top story for this week so far has been, of course, the talk about layoffs at Hoboken. 79 notices were issued last week, as we first reported, and that was certainly evident at last night's city council meeting, where over a dozen municipal employees, most of them members of the unions, coming out and speaking out against Mayor Ravi Bala and his administration, though the council did take a vote that would have a serious impact on health insurance. So we're going to tell you all about that and more. Certainly in other parts of the county, we're seeing some big breaks as well. In the Bayonne Board of Education, their security director was charged with Superstorm Sandy fraud. We got that straight from the New Jersey Attorney General's office, so we want to let you know what's going on there as well. We also saw Governor Phil Murphy come to town just a couple days ago. By town, I mean, of course, Jersey City, where he was talking about an expansion of the Hudson Bergen Light Rail. So we're going to tell you what that means for all our commuters that take the trains on a daily basis. And we're also going to talk a little bit about what's been happening with Frank Raya. As you know, he was convicted of vote-by-mail fraud back in the summer, and now he is finally reported to prison, so we're going to give you all the details there. But first, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hey, welcome back. Hudson County View Live and Uncut, John R. Highness. So as I just mentioned a few moments ago, I think the top story of the week is, again, the budget crisis here at Hoboken. Since December, we've been telling you about this. Just a quick recap, a quick timeline. So back in December, you guys are probably well aware, then Business Administrator Stephen Marks, who has since left for this similar position in Kearney, said that this year's budget shortfall would be at least $7 million and could lead to up to 80 layoffs. Well, since then, Civil Service has approved layoff notices for 79 employees at City Hall, and that was quite evident at last night's City Council meeting. We had a really big turnout, I would say anywhere from 75 to 100 people. For those of you that do not partake in the Hoboken City Council meetings, you usually get maybe 12 people tops, and that's counting a few people that work for the city. So, you know, not something that gets much fanfare, but this was a totally different ballgame. A lot of people spoke out, a lot of people frustrated, and a lot of people just basically demanding answers from this administration in the midst of, again, what looks like to be a really tough time economically as they prepare that budget. One clerical point that I didn't mention yet is that Jason Freeman, who's Mayor Ravi Bala's chief of operations and also is splitting business administrator duties as they look for Stephen Marks' replacement, mentioned that the budget is not likely to get introduced at the next meeting. He made the point that that's probably going to be withheld for another week or two so that they can maximize saving potential before they unleash the first copy of this budget. So we're going to show you the clip, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Last night's Hoboken City Council meeting was one for the record books as the Hoboken Municipal Employees Union, as well as other local workers, came out to speak out against receiving layoffs last week, and the council approved a measure that may save the city up to $6.5 million by switching health insurance providers.
I will share with all of you just a little bit of the people that have been targeted by this administration. You targeted a single mother with a disabled child. You targeted an employee with ailments but still fights to come to work every day. You targeted entire offices with at least no thought in your mind of the inconvenience that you will be to the constituents of the city. You targeted employees with a spouse who was fighting cancer or some other disease. I am that employee.
We are being targeted because we're born and raised people, and that is a fact. So many people on that list are Italians or Hispanic. Look at that list. That list was orchestrated. It was planned. It was devised. In some cases, it was planned so the person doesn't even have voting rights. Why would I want to get another job when I love the one I have? And I should have the right to keep it. And I implore all of you, I don't know how people who go to bed at night and put their damn head on a pillow and sleep, knowing that you are cutting people out, like they are just goddamn pieces of paper, or, as I was told, dead wood.
I take care of a mother who's on her third round of radiation. You know what it's like taking care of cancer. You know what it's like taking care of a loved one with cancer. I'm a disabled daughter. At the same time, I'm in the middle. My paycheck is for the two of them. I get nothing to spend on me. It's for my mom, her medical bills, and my daughter and her medical bills. Now, Mr. Freeman, is it?
Yeah.
How is it that you're laying off the whole court? Who's going to handle it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What happens if we all just walk out one day in the courtroom? What's going to happen? You're going to have no money coming in from those fines.
So the only way I can move this resolution forward is that it's to the New Jersey Direct 10 plan and removes a politically connected vendor that has drained our city's coffers, drained your pockets, and drained this entire city hall. But it's really important to know about this resolution. In one of the final clauses to it is that that this resolution can only go into effect after the 7th and only after all bargaining units have agreed to the Direct 10 plan. And no layoffs should be allowed until those bargaining units are
I'm John Hudson with Hudson County View, the eye of the community. Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Hudson. So like I said, I think that was something special, not what you see every week in Hoboken or anywhere else. But yeah, as you can see, tensions are running high. People want answers. It looks like the administration and the city council both would like to see a positive outcome here. But based on what we saw last night, even with the estimated savings, which could be upwards of $6.7 million, it's tough to envision a scenario where there aren't any layoffs as of today. But, you know, we have a few weeks before that budget will come out, so we're just going to wait with bated breath and see what the final outcome is there. Just to clarify and make sure that everybody understands, the resolution says the council understands May 8th is the earliest date that positions may be eliminated, and the transition to the plan, meaning the insurance plan, may take longer. However, we strongly believe the layoff should not occur until the city offers employee bargaining units the opportunity to transition to the NJ Direct 10 plan. And that's a state insurance plan that 91% of municipalities in New Jersey have. So the point I'm making is simply that the resolution is simply asking for the administration to consider this action. No formal action has been taken to convert to this new insurance plan just yet. So we're going to take a break. We'll see you in a moment.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, Retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So we want to just switch gears a little bit and go to the Peninsula City now. Obviously, we're just talking about the Mile Square City, and we're going to talk about a case out of the State Attorney General's office. So the Bayonne Board of Education's head of security, Tim Carey, has been charged with getting nearly $20,000 in fraudulent Superstorm Sandy aid after allegedly claiming that his summer home was his full-time residence, according to the New Jersey Attorney General's office, another story that we were the first to report this week. So I had the chance to speak with Peter Asseltine again from the AG's office, and he said Timothy Carey, 54 of Lincroft, was charged by complaint summons on Monday with third-degree theft by deception and fourth-degree unsworn falsification. Excuse me. Now, they're claiming, the state authorities that is, are saying that he filed fraudulent applications for state grants under the Homeowner Resettlement Program and the Sandy Homeowner and Renter Assistance Program. As a result, he got $19,953 in relief funds that he was not entitled to. So obviously that's a big accusation, but this is not anything new. A few people have asked me, where did these charges come from? Where did this investigation start? And, I don't have specific answers about that because, of course, the Attorney General's office keeps everything close to the vest. But I can tell you that this is something that's been a priority for the past three, I would say, Attorney Generals, if not more, ever since, of course, Superstorm Sandy in 2012. We've seen over 100 people, I believe the most recent figure was about 120, have been charged with some sort of fraud. And the reasoning as to why this is just coming out this week, well, again, I don't have a concrete answer, but I would theorize, based on the information that we have in front of us, is that the people that were defrauding the state in the hundreds, the thousands, even close to the millions, were obviously given higher priority. In the case of Mr. Carey here, we're talking about a relatively small amount of money, approximately $20,000, as I mentioned. So that's the best I can tell you. Unfortunately, the Attorney General doesn't give us an A to Z on these kind of things, but based on what I've experienced, what we've reported, and what we know, I think that's about where we stand. So now, we could also tell you that at the time of the storm, according to the AG's office, his primary residence was in Lincroft, and a property in Manahawkin was a summer weekend home. And as a result of that, those applications he filled out were false. So he's also, as many people have noted online, a retired police detective from the city of Bayonne, and he's been working at the Board of Education for a few years. I couldn't confirm exactly how long, but probably in the neighborhood of 3 or 4 years. And as on that end, he's currently on unpaid suspension from the Bayonne Board of Education, pending the outcome of his case. So I would assume that this probably means that the Bayonne BOE will have to start looking into hiring somebody else, because these cases with the State Attorney General's office rarely have a quick resolution. I mean, there's only been one and also out of those 120 or so people that I mentioned in passing just a few moments ago, only one of them has actually taken this to trial and been acquitted of the charges. So certainly based on that, the statistics are against Mr. Carey in this situation. Of course, like anything else, innocent until proven guilty. But again, the stats are not favorable on this. So, I would look for the coming weeks and months for the Bayonne Board of Education to get ahead of this, put out a request for proposals, and job postings to try to see if they're going to go with an individual, perhaps someone else who's retired law enforcement, or if they're going to go with a security company, which some districts do. I don't believe Bayonne has actually done that, but the other districts in the area and throughout the state do that. So I think that's something we'll see soon. And I would say probably no later than May, we will see somebody usurp that position, but maybe probably sooner. I mean, obviously, you guys saw the story this week that there was an increased police presence at one of the elementary schools in Bayonne because 2 middle schoolers believed, 12-year-olds actually, believed they were being followed. So there was increased police presence, and obviously security director had a pivotal role in that. And I don't believe Mr. Carey was involved as a result of this case. So I don't know who was acting in that capacity. But, just one example of how this job could have the utmost importance in any school district. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes over. It's going to be interesting to see who applies and how quickly this void can be filled. Of course, again, there is always the possibility of acquittal or case dismissal, but again, improbable based on the data that we have in front of us today. School officials officially declined to comment on this story and on this case, but again, we have confirmation from a number of sources within the district that have said Mr. Carey is on unpaid suspension until this is resolved. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office space and an address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation. On-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. 201-521-9000 or visit on the web at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So we are also going to now circle back to the Mile Square City, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about Frank Raya. As you guys are obviously well aware, Frank, many of you know as Puppy, was convicted of vote-by-mail fraud in connection to the 2013 municipal elections back in June. And there was a number of things that drew this process out. His attorney filed a motion to have a new trial. He said the reasoning behind that was that the cooperating witnesses were not reliable because their testimony hinged on their own livelihood, in the sense that if they cooperated to the government's satisfaction, I guess you could say, then they would get a lighter sentence, if any sentence at all. U.S. District Judge William J. Martini did not buy that argument. He dismissed the motion, but even so, that delayed this process several months. And then finally, in December, Raya was sentenced to just 90 days in prison and a $50,000 fine, an outcome, as we've discussed on this show, on our website and elsewhere, that shocked a lot of people in the Mile Square City and beyond, I think really throughout the state, because the maximum sentence there was 5 years, and the 90 days was not what a lot of people were expecting. I think that's fair to say here. So the judge remarked that he'd received dozens, I believe, may have even been over hundreds of letters talking about the great charitable work that Frank has done. He's a prominent developer, as most of you are probably familiar, and they say that he's let a lot of people stay there. In his developments rent-free, buys meals for people, donates to charitable causes, things like that. So I guess the judge really thought that needed to be given heavy weight before he gave his sentence. However, some people that did not agree with that apparently are from the U.S. Attorney's Office, because they have appealed that sentence. And we're still waiting on the outcome of that. So whether it becomes 90 days or anything beyond, remains to be seen. But what we can report with 100% certainty this week is that Frank Raya has reported to prison as of Monday. He is at the FCI Fairton Medium Security Federal Corrections Facility, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons website. So again, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, he's scheduled as of today. Again, that appeal is still a live motion, so we don't know how that's going to turn out. But as of today, he's going to be released on June 1st. And I guess we're just going to wait and see. This is a very interesting case. I mean, those cooperating witnesses that I just mentioned to you briefly, we saw Matt Colicchio, we saw Freddie Frazier, and we saw Michael Holmes, three people that were major players in Raya's inner circle when he was still intimately involved in politics. Back in 2013, they were involved in that campaign where he ran for council at large. And, they all testified on the stand in Newark District Court, federal court, of course, that is, and said that Frank Raya, orchestrated this very elaborate scheme where he would pay low-income voters $50 so that they would vote for him and his running mates in exchange for $50. So, this is something that we're all intimately familiar with. I mean, we've heard talk about this for years, and many considered this judgment to be a day of reckoning for Frank. But others also, of course, have had sympathy, like the judge did, and again, many others have highlighted his charitable work. And Frank, at 68 years old, does have some health issues, so this is something that you see a lot of different opinions on, believe it or not. So at least I've heard a lot of different opinions on. So all we could say is, for now, Frank Raya will be in this South Jersey Correctional Facility. That is, again, until further notice. We're going to give you the latest as soon as we know exactly, what happens with this appeal. As of today, there has been no update, so I don't expect that ruling to happen anytime soon. But as soon as it does, you'll be the first to know. So we're going to take another quick break. We'll see you in a moment.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
You know those times when you need to see the doctor, but you just can't get to the doctor? So where do you go? Go to the App Store, download the Telemed app from RWJ Barnabas Health, and you see the doctor right away. From any mobile device, whenever you want, wherever you are.
Quality care, no appointment necessary. The doctor is online when you download the Telemed app.
Don't you feel better already?
RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut, John Arhidis. So we're going to bring it back to Jersey City. We have some interesting, two interesting things on unrelated fronts. First, we're going to talk about 2021, where, of course, the mayor and council seats are all up for grabs. And then we're going to talk about something regarding infrastructure, and as I mentioned earlier, that involved an appearance from our governor. So first, let's talk about 2021 and beyond. So Mayor Stephen Fulop, as you guys know, was elected in 2013, and the majority of the people he ran with are still allies of his. And it was remained to be seen, though, what the ticket was going to look like. I mean, we're still 19 plus months out, but at his annual birthday party fundraiser that he has been doing for the past couple of years at the Chandelier in Bayonne, he announced who his running mates are going to be, or at least some of his running mates, not the whole ticket, but 5 incumbents, which, comes with some power. Obviously, that's the majority of the council, 5 out of the 9. And he announced that he is going to be running again with Ward A Councilwoman Denise Ridley, Ward B Councilwoman Mira Prince-Array. He also introduced Council President Joyce Waterman, as well as Councilman at Large Daniel Rivera. And of course, we would be remiss if we did not also mention that Ward F Councilman Jermaine Robinson was announced at the event. And while he wasn't formally declared a part of the ticket, I just want to point out, for those of you that did get a chance to read the story or watch the video, Ward C Councilman Rich Baggiano also made a cameo appearance. Whether or not he ends up being part of the ticket remains to be seen. But he apparently, according to the mayor in an interview that we had with him at that event, he said that they've had a great working relationship in recent months, talking about developments in Journal Square. So it certainly sounds like that's in play. And you guys are also probably well aware that the mayor has had a good relationship with Ward D Councilman Michael Youd. That obviously hasn't always been the case. You know, Youd has been considered one of the biggest watchdogs on the council, but in recent months, while he has still preached about a fiscally conservative approach to a lot of things, him and the mayor have worked well on this school funding plan, so regarding the Board of Education and that upcoming referendum in November. So, you know, it's quite possible where you could see either, if not both of those councilmen join Fulop's ticket as well. But we just want to also note, as you guys mentioned to me and mentioned online, and I'm sure I've been talking amongst yourselves about a month ago, Councilman at Large Rolando Lavarro, a former council president who ran with the mayor on 2 different occasions, looks like a guy who's poised to run for mayor. And when I asked Mayor Fulop about that possible opponent at this event, this is what he told me. And he said that, he said he's entitled to run. It's a free country. He can do what he wants. I don't really follow what his platform would be, given that he was an advocate for 6 years. But that said, anybody's entitled to run. That's part of the process. It makes a better dialogue and a better city as a result of that. It's fine. Important to note that the Mayor Stephen Fulop re-election campaign, according to New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission records, has over $1 million in it. And the Fulop campaign says that this event at the Chandelier raised close to $250,000. So it looks like that whoever the challenger and the challenging candidates will certainly have an uphill climb when it comes to finances. So with that, like I said, we're going to stick with Jersey City, and we're going to tell you about the governor making an announcement about the light rail expansion. So there was a presser the other day where the governor was joined by local dignitaries, of course, including Mayor Fulop, the host mayor, and basically what this would do, it would extend the light rail to Jersey City's westernmost point near the Hackensack River. And this would be right across Route 440 to support Jersey City's planned development on the Hackensack waterfront. And let me tell you exactly what the governor said for a moment. We're here today together to celebrate the beginning of construction on this exciting and much needed extension of the Hudson-Bergen light rail. And this was at the West Side Avenue Terminal. Extending the light rail will enable more Jersey City residents to get out of their cars and onto mass transit, and enable Jersey City to maximize the potential of the Hackensack River waterfront area for smart development and economic revitalization. So, of course, this is a big project. This isn't going to happen overnight. Estimates say that this is going to take about 3.5 years, and it's currently in its preliminary engineering phase, according to the governor's office, and that will continue until about mid-April. But the early action construction on the project is going to go through the spring. And, if everything goes according to plan, we're looking at something, I guess it would be about mid-2023. Now, this is not a cheap project, as you probably could have also guessed. This is going to be over $200 million. I think the latest reported figure was about $220 million. But this is quite a boon for commuters on that area of Jersey City, in particular due to that Bayfront development project. You remember we've reported on this a number of times, but not so much recently. So if you don't recall, that's a $180 million development on a 95-acre property, and it was purchased from the Honeywell Development Company back in June 2018, and that was after an extensive lead remediation process. And this will include upwards of 7,000 units, and 35% of those units are supposed to be allocated to affordable housing. So, those of you that live or are considering moving to the West Side area, it looks like you're going to have a lot of new amenities coming to the town in very short order. So something certainly to keep an eye on from a real estate and from just a home living standpoint. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me this week. It's always a pleasure. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.